Hi there, this is Nino Baldachi for Fake News Network. I'm going to get you a special guest. Brief word about this guest. He was originally a remote viewer in experiments run by DARPA 40 years ago, and then they forgot that he actually existed, buried in the bowels of some strange building outside of Washington, D.C., although their financial situation kept making sure that there was food available to him and other special needs. So he continued to live and proceeded to do whatever it is that he does. As a consequence of his highly developed abilities as a remote viewer, he is going to bring us this report. If you'll give me a minute now, I will switch over to his channel, and you will be able to hear from, well, let's see, let's call him Medium Snot. That's got to be a code name, you know, but Medium Snot will be with you in a couple of seconds. Are we safe? Am I safe? Yeah. Okay. This is what did he call me? Medium Snot, reporting on remote viewing matters gained. Oh, fuck it. Here's the real stuff about Trump. Okay. Yes, the Russians are behind this. This is obvious to anybody who can't, even people who can't think, you know. How else would such a jerk get to where he is today? Okay, that's that. Oh my goodness, I can't, you know, be seen it, but I can't. Oh well. Anyway, so what's going on is this: is the reality is that the Trump empire has been running on loan money from the Russian oligarch banks for about 30 or 40 years. Even though these were losses to the Russian banks, they thought this was a good thing because, well, whatever. They think long range, those folks. They're chess players, and so they plan ahead. So eventually it came time to bring out their queen. Yes, they brought out their queen finally and ran the board. So there we are, you know. Unfortunately, the hacks were discovered. They were kind of obvious in a way. You can't be perfect at that stuff. And so it became necessary to kind of withdraw any relationship to Trump because the oligarch banks didn't want it known that they had this relationship that they used to manipulate Trump, who, of course, didn't want the tax records out because, well, you know, if his tax records were out, this kind of stuff would show up. He was owing all this money, deducting the interest rates and stuff from oligarch banks in Russia. So anyway, as a consequence of them withdrawing, the oligarch banks put his assets on the market in the dark web to see if anybody wanted to buy them, given the fact that they don't have any real value. Originally, the Chinese had an interest because they like buying things American, but then he had to go and insult them, you know, so that took care of that. That was kind of the last straw, and the oligarchs were then looking for someone else to buy. They got after Bill Gates, they got after George Soros, and mostly it was nameless sheiks in the Middle East who had a lot of oil money to spend, but nobody really wanted to touch these assets, and so right now it's all up in the air, and Trump is looking for an out. He knows it's going to come down on him real soon, and what I discovered recently is that he's been meeting secretly with Sarah Palin. Now, Sarah Palin is an expert in how you get out of government responsibilities since she managed to quit being governor of Alaska right in the middle of a term. So this is what Trump wants to do. He maybe doesn't even want to get through his pre-presidential activity because he's about to be found out for what it, well, the obvious. Everybody knows. You just have to take one look at the guy. So that's the story. I don't know if there's any more details. I'll return you to Nino, and he can finish off whatever it is that he wants to say. Thank you for listening. Just a minute. I'm sorry. I gotta. Okay. Okay, there you got it. Big snot, or medium snot, or whatever it wants to be. Gave us the true skinny on the situation with Trump. Owned by the oligarch banks. Has no real wealth. Terrible debt. Nobody even wants to buy it on the dark net. He's toast. And he's had to call in Sarah. Yep. What an awful thing that is for him, having to rely on a woman to give him some advice. Isn't that wonderful? You just have to picture it, right? There she is, very good-looking woman, and he needs her brain. Does she have one? Oh, God. He's really in trouble. Thank you.